Hello beautiful people, welcome back to yet another video on the channel. This is the third video of the series Travel Advisory for India that we have been producing from last couple of weeks. Now you have booked your flights, your visa got approved, and you have already watched every single video that is available on internet about how to photograph India and where to photograph in India. But what most people don't talk about is what to pack in your bag while you're traveling to India. In this video, I'm going to help you pack for India. The things that will help you to keep going on shooting over and over, even in the dusty and heat and humid conditions of India. The difference between photographers who come back home with SD cards full of images and the one who come back sick and tired is almost all the time in their bag. So before you zip it up your bag, here are the 11 most essential things that you need to carry as a street travel and documentary photographer in India. First thing first, logistics. I'm not going to talk about the check-in that you carry, but there's something about domestic air travels that you really need to know, that in India, if you're flying from one city to another city, you can only check in 15 kgs of bag. If your bag goes overweight, you need to pay. So most of the people make this mistake because international flights always give them 25 or 30 kgs, and then you start flying inside India and you find that there's a weight limit of 15 kgs in Indian domestic flights. So for your check-in bags, this is what you need to take care of. Maybe if you pack 15 kgs or below 15 kgs, it's always going to be nice for you. So now comes the part of shooting. While I'm traveling, I generally carry two backpacks. One backpack which can go on my shoulder and carry as much as equipments I want, and then there's another one which is smaller one which I would take when I'm going out in the morning and evening in order to shoot, which can carry one body, an extra lens, couple of extra batteries, and my power bank, because that's all I need while I'm out on the morning to shoot, as I really don't want my backpack or a lot of equipment slowing me down while I'm noticing the moments on the streets. Here is the bag that I carry all the time. This is Wandered PRVKE 31 liters. My friend Gajan from Canada got me this as a present, and since then this has been my most go-to backpack. The reason I love this backpack is because I can put all my equipments up here. Like every other camera bag, it has the compartments, like if you want to see, you can see all these compartments. I can fit as much as I want. This bag has one of the features that most of the camera bags miss. This has two pouches, one for your iPad and another one for your MacBook. And this is the bag that I take most of the time on my sling over my shoulder when I'm out shooting every morning and evening. This is just really perfect for my Leica. This bag comes in two sizes, 3 liter and 6 liter. I generally carry only one body and extra lens, which you can see here. It's so perfect for my Leica M11P, and I've got 28 Summicron on top of it. And then I can also carry my Summilux 50 1.4 also in this bag. So this just makes perfect sense for me. One of the things that I love about this bag is this is water resistant, and I hate carrying umbrella. But this is just personally on me. I hate carrying anything on my hands when I'm shooting. So when it's raining, I can just put my camera body and my lens up here and I can just relax and enjoy the rain. Next thing that I would think about is your camera equipment. It should always be lean and purposeful. When you're traveling to India, because it's such a massive country, you need to be really honest with yourself. Are you coming here to film, or are you coming here to photograph, or you coming here to do both? For me personally, I don't do both jobs at one part of time. If I'm filming, I'm only filming. If I'm photographing, I'm only photographing. So as a street photographer, because I use Leica system, I only prefer these two things: a wider lens and another lens that I can use for the portraits. So for me, these two are the best ones that I have most of the time in my kit, and I would travel with this. So this is 28mm on a fixed body, and this is 50mm. When I'm out shooting candid stuff, most of the time I want my 28 so that I can build layers and much more complex composition. But sometimes I also like someone's face. Sometimes I like an environment where I can just go a couple steps back and do an environmental portrait. This is where my 50mm comes. I feel this should be the setup for most of the people who travel to India, because this is everything that you need. As much as making the choices about camera system and lenses, I feel like India's heat and humidity is so relentless that carrying a camera cleaning kit becomes super important. So I have this kit that I always carry. It has a microfiber cloth, a blower to take care of the dust. This has this brush that I can rub everywhere on my camera and lens. Then this has some of the camera cleaning tissues. It has the screen or glass cleaning gel. So I feel like these are the things that I most probably need in order to clean the camera. Let's say you forgot bringing all these, you can just buy it anywhere in India. Every camera shop, I think this kit is available. Moving on to the third point, a portable coffee system. This might sound like I'm talking about luxury, but trust me, it's not. Most of the coffee houses in India don't open before 9:30 or 10 a.m. There's chai everywhere and you should absolutely drink it. But if you are someone who loves coffee and needs caffeine to be activated at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., you probably need to look into it. Here are few options that I have figured out over the last decade because I'm also a coffee person and I need it before I go out on shoot. First one is this Wakako Nano Press. I got it few years ago and I use it during my travel. This one is a very simple system. You can put your coffee capsule up here, just pour hot water into this part, attach it, then probably just close it, turn it on, and you just press so that it creates vacuum and it gives you a nice shot of espresso that can help you in the morning. Nowadays in market there are so many options where you can also have hot water in the same machine, and this one also comes motorized and so that your espresso falls nice and even. Let's say you don't want to pack anything regarding coffee during your travel and you land in India. This is one of the options that I would suggest you to consider. This is from a brand called Blue Tokai and they have come up with this easy pour system that I've been traveling with from last 1 or 2 years, and you can probably find it everywhere. What you need to do is get this pack. It has 5 or 10 sachets of coffee. You just open it, grab your cup right here, and then you just put it like this. You tear this part, the coffee comes out, you pour hot water on top of it, and there's your coffee within a minute ready before you go out on shoot. Maybe you are a coffee maniac just like me. I would suggest you to bring your pour over, buy some specialty Indian coffee and just brew it before you go out in the morning. It's all possible in India. Fourth essential in your bag should be your medicines and the sunscreen. Trust me, you should not gamble on this one. Carry a basic medical kit for yourself which has anti-diarrheal medication, oral rehydration salts, paracetamol, antihistamines, any prescribed meds that you take, and a strip of broad spectrum antibiotics if your doctor suggests. Stomach trouble is almost a rite passage here. You really don't want to get sick and lose 2 shooting days because that's horrible. And I've seen people whose trip have been ruined just because their stomach's not working right. Another thing that you can do before you fly into India, you can start taking probiotic maybe 2 weeks before, because that will make your stomach ready for the things that you're gonna experience in India. Now that was all about the medicines, but Indian sun is no joke. From sunrise to sunset, places like Rajasthan, Delhi, Ladakh, sun is really brutal. You really need to carry a sunscreen which is SPF 50 reapplied. Trust me, your face and your shoot both will thank you. Fifth essential thing should be your food supplements. If you have extra space in your bag, maybe you can pack your favorite snack, protein bars, and anything that can provide energy to you while you are shooting out during the day. Most of the time, Indian restaurants and cafes don't open until 9 or 10 like I told you before. So when you are going out at 6 a.m., maybe you just want to have something to eat so that you can have energy for the next 3-4 hours. I guess you all know all these things, but I'm going to give you an insider tip where you can buy all these things instantly and it will get delivered to your doorstep. I'll tell you the insider information. So here's the app that I use in order to get all my snacks while I'm traveling. Like let's say my protein bars, I need something to drink, I can just order all these and it will show up to my hotel within like 15 minutes. So the app is called Blinkit. You can download this in Play Store and then you just search here. Let's say I want to search energy bar. Comes up here. This one you can just add, put your address, and this will just deliver it to your door. But to use this app, you really need an Indian SIM card, which you can easily get in any market when you land in Kolkata or Delhi or anywhere else in India. Sixth essential is very basic. clothing and your shoes. But here's how I'm going to help you as a local Indian living here for last 28 years. So let's divide India into 3-4 sections. From November till March there's winters. It's generally always from 12 degree to 20 degree during the winters. The winters in India are not super crazy if you don't go into Himalayan areas like Ladakh, Kashmir and all these places. So you really don't need that strong of a jacket that's gonna take all the space in your bag. But try carrying a fleece and an upper that can just protect you from the cold. But if you're someone who's traveling India in between April till September, trust me, it's gonna be really hot and humid here. All you need to bring as many as linen shirts as possible because they are really breathable, maybe t-shirts and shorts. Few long pants is also recommended because you would like to go to temples and mosques where you would need to respect the culture of Indians. Hats and sunglasses are non-negotiable because of the sun, but this video is focused on the photographers, and an epic pair of shoe is the most important gear that you should bring. I generally travel with two types of shoes. One, that is my walking shoes. These have been my walking shoes from last 1 year. I absolutely love them because I can walk as much as I want to. Most of the days I'm clocking into 20,000 steps and I can't imagine walking in any other shoe, but anything that you are comfortable with you can bring. And the second type of shoes that I have is these ones because I really don't want to wear shoes while I'm in the hotel or while I'm relaxing. So I get these ones which are easy slip-ons and I can just walk into restaurants and anywhere with these things. Seventh essential is something that I've been experiencing from last 2 years, and trust me, it has been game changing. As a photographer, we have such a huge amount of time dedicated to our screen, whether it is our phone, iPad, laptop or even the viewfinder. So what I try to do is I try to bring a physical copy of book in order to get inspired and take break from all the screen time. This is the clutch thing that I would always do. As a suggestion, what I would say is if you are traveling to cities like Kolkata, Varanasi, Delhi, Rajasthan, Mumbai, you should always try to find a local bookstore, and local bookstores would always have photography books of Indian photographers. Let's say you are in Varanasi and you stumbled upon a bookstore and you bought this book. This photography book will keep you inspired in so many ways, or any photography book that has been done by an Indian photographer would inspire you in so many ways. Whenever I lack inspiration, I would just go on these photos and I would just keep looking at them. It's incredible how these people have photographed this country 20, 30, 40 years ago, and this is just amazing. I love getting inspired by all these photographs from these books. Also, as you all know, that this year I spent almost 40 days with my friend Henley in Ladakh. I bought this book at Delhi airport and I started reading about it. This is called Voice for the Voiceless. Whenever you're traveling to Ladakh, I think you should read this book while you are in there. This is written by none other than His Holiness Dalai Lama. This book opened so many directions for me and so much knowledge about the Tibetan and Ladakhi culture that I was about to photograph. The monks, I could just know in which class they are, what are they studying, what are the stages of their life. All this I got to know about this book, and that's when I realized this is the importance of carrying a physical book anywhere you travel. Eighth must-have thing should be your power and connectivity backup. So in India, we have type C, type D and type M plugs, which is not something that is designed in the Western countries. So I would always carry something like this, which is a universal plug, and this will always help you to be connected. Most of the Indian 5-star hotels have universal plugs. So if you are staying in a nice property, you can skip it, but I would still get this or a really nice extension cord which has so many plugs so that I can charge my phone, batteries and laptop at the same time. Another thing that I would carry is these battery backups. These are 20,000 mAh battery backups, which is super easy to travel with in the plane, because if anything that goes beyond 25,000 mAh, Indian airports might restrict you to carry it. This was about power, but then you also want to be connected. Nowadays, having internet and connectivity in your phone is super easy. Maybe you can just buy a eSIM in your country and activate it in here, but let's say you don't want to do that because it's quite expensive up there. You can always buy an Indian SIM card when you land at the airport, or just search for a shop that has SIM cards. The most popular Indian telecom companies are Airtel and Jio. If you would Google them, you can find their store, and once you go there, all you need to do is carry your passport and ask them for a SIM card. In India, you can get a SIM card for less than $5 which will last you for 30 days and will give you 2 GB of internet every single day. away. And trust me, that's a game changer. You always want to text your family and friends and also to the people locally you meet. The next point is something that you don't need to pack while you are in your country, but you need to take care of it while you are in India. Keeping your documents secure and carrying cash. My suggestion generally is always keep a copy of your passport and visa always accessible with yourself. You generally don't need to carry your passport while you're walking on the streets in order to take photos, because nobody's gonna ask you for your passport until and unless you run into an unexpected situation. Generally, you can trust Indian hotels. Your documents and everything is going to be safe up there. The reason why I say it and people don't believe it is I know that people in India are really scared of losing their job. If they steal something from you or they harm you, they will lose their job forever and nobody's going to employ them. And this is the reason why I feel most of the Indian spaces are safe. And every hotel has a security camera that is always running. Now comes the money part. You can always change your US dollars, euros or pounds when you come to airport, but the queue might be huge. So I would suggest you to get some cash from your country and carry it to India, or just go to a local market where you can find currency exchange and exchange it. I would personally not suggest you to have any US dollars in your pocket because that's unusable. All you need to do is carry some Indian cash like a 500 rupee bill, 200 rupee bill and a 100 rupee bill. These will generally help you to pay everywhere you want. Although anywhere if your bill is more than 100 US dollars, I would ask you to just pay by your card. The 10th essential is something that I'm trying to continue from the last episode. You really need to back up your data every single day, because after 10 to 14 days of shooting, you really don't want to mess up with your data because you are invested in India financially, mentally and physically. So having a strong backup of all your data is super important. I would always carry these SSDs instead of this hard disk. This hard disk is something that needs to stay in your house. When you go back home, then you can copy all your data into this one. But while you are traveling in India, I would suggest you to copy one backup here and one backup here. The reason why I'm saying you need two backups is one can go into your check-in bag all the time and then other one can stay in your backpack. Let's say if you lose your check-in baggage at one airport, you still have it in your backpack. Last essential is something that I don't have, but a lot of my customers have had in the past, and I would also like to have it in my kit. Maybe next month I'll probably buy one, is an Instax camera. This is something that will change the way you shoot India. Imagine you building your connection, you took a portrait of someone and you just handed them a print of their own photo. It's just incredible. That just opens so much door for you. It helps you to build so much more connection and deeper level of understanding of people, because sometimes they will just invite you into their house. They will ask you to take pictures of their kid. It's just incredible. I've seen it so many times and I just love seeing their faces getting lit up. The reason I don't have is because my uncle owns a printing shop. So if anytime I need to give someone print, I just go there and I print it. But I really want to get a Polaroid instant camera so that I can bring smile on everyone that I photograph. Whoa, that was a lot, but I'm not done yet. There are some honorable mentions also. Rain cover and dry protection, a light scarf or a gamcha, a small lock and cable, sanitizers, a foldable mini tripod. I'm not a huge fan of using tripod because it doesn't fit in my street photography, but if you want, you can bring it. Earplugs and sleep mask. Earplugs are super important because most of the hotels sometimes host weddings and it can get really noisy while you're trying to get a nice sleep. So that's the bag. None of this is about carrying more. It's about carrying right. The photographers who thrive in India are not the one with the most amount of gears. It's the one who have packed with intention and have left a room for an Instax camera. So pack smart, travel light and take care of your body. Do all these and India will reward you with the best photos ever. Before the video ends, there's something that you really can't pack in your bag. A really nice photography guide and a fixer. To get that, you really need to contact us or go to Kolkata Photo Tours or sivamphotofarm.com and shoot a mail to us. We would love to host you in India and get the best possible photos that you are looking for. Like always, me and my team are eternally grateful for all the love and support that we have got for over last 1 year, and I hope to see you in the next one.